Everybody. So today I want to talk about how do you go from a life that you're not really satisfied with, that you might even dislike, to a life that you're completely obsessed about and that you absolutely love. So I want to talk about a client who came to me just a few years ago. And when she came to me, she was engaged to be married. And she was talking to me about the different venues that she had gone to see. She was talking to me about her dress. And I remember as she was speaking, I didn't feel that spark that you usually feel with brides when they're talking about their big day. They're very excited and they have like that spark. And I wasn't feeling the spark. She was also telling me about her living situation. She lived with her fiance and they lived in a tiny, tiny, tiny home. And she wasn't satisfied with her home. And she even worked from home and she wasn't truly satisfied with what she was doing either. So there was a lot to work with, right? And what I first do with all of my clients, it's I almost see it as like an onion, right? Where there's so many layers, right, to peel off because I want to find out, the essence, the core. Who are you inside? Because unfortunately, what happens is that often we are living a life that really doesn't belong to us. And what does that mean? So how often does it happen where people wake up and they're like, wait a minute, did I really want to do this job? Did I really want this career? How did this happen? I'm going to bring up another example um, about another client who came to me who was telling me that her son wanted to be a sports journalist. And that was his desire. He was around 15, 16. He's like, this is what I really want to study. I want to go to college and I want to become a sports journalist. Maybe one day I'll even have my own show. And he was like super excited about it. And his mother said, no, I don't suggest that. That's not realistic. You're not really going to make money from that. People who actually make money from that are very few people. So I think you should do something more realistic, something that's going to actually bring in good money. So don't do that. I really don't think you should do that. And the thing is that it seems like, wow, what a cruel mother. But the truth is, most of society operates this way, right? Most of society. Now, finally, people are starting to change. I see people changing and definitely encouraging their kids more on what they want to do. But this was not so common, and it still isn't super common. I hear this all the time. And so, and then, you become an adult and you're like, you think about it and you're like, is this what I really wanted? Is this the relationship that I wanted? Is this the career that I wanted? Is this where I wanted to live? And it's like, it's not just parents, it's society. It's maybe a brother, a sister, a partner, a friend, television, whatever it is. We have all these messages, right, of who we should be. And next thing you know, you wake up and you're like, wait a minute, is this really the life that I wanted to lead? And so I always notice with my clients, especially when they're having health issues, right? This is a big one. And this video is not going to be about health, but this is definitely, that's going to be a completely different video. But when I see that there are health issues, I always know that it's the body not punishing you. The body is trying to tell you something. It's trying to give you a message, right? And we better listen. Okay. There was this other client who was working in the corporate world and she hated it. She hated working in the corporate world. She absolutely despised it. She was making tons of money, but she hated it. And she was becoming more and more sick, really sick. And she didn't tie them together. She didn't figure that what they were related at all. And yet her body was trying to talk to her and she wasn't listening. The thing is, most people aren't trained to listen to their bodies that way, right? We feel like we're getting sick and that's completely not related to what's going on in our life, even though disease, dis-ease, right? It's in the word. Um, and I don't feel like it's a punishment. It's our beautiful bodies telling us, hey, slow down. Hey, stop. Hey, course correction. There's something in your life that we need to fix. So I know that when clients come to me and they have health issues, I want to hear about that right away because I really want to figure out and you're different ailments, different pains, different diseases mean different things. And again, this is not that type of video, but we really need to learn to pay attention to our body. And so this one was not, did not think that there was any correlation between the two of, her really disliking her job, hating her job, and her getting progressively sicker and sicker and sicker. And so back to the original story. So she was also she didn't understand why she had um, so much sadness. She felt like she should be happy, right? She was about to get married and she was, to her fiance. And so again, it's like peeling the layers for me because I want to know, who are you before all the noise, before all the people who told you who you should be and what you should do and who you should date. And, you'd be really good at working at this place and you'd be really good studying this and you'd be really good, right? And we start listening to all these people and it starts getting into our head and we get confused. Or even having parents who mean well. Again, I'm not trying to diss parents here because the truth is our parents mean well. They're trying to protect us, right? They want us to live better lives than they had. And so, but who were we when we were younger? There's so much right there that we should be listening to and paying attention to. So it's so important to go back. Who were we as kids? What did we love to do? What is it that we kept saying, when I grow up, I'm going to be blah, 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 blah. And today, as an adult, what do you love? What do you love to do? What do you love to talk about? I can't tell you how often clients who come to me and tell me, when I was 9 years old, I really wanted to do this. And when I asked them about it, how do you feel about that now? God, that would have been so wonderful. I would have loved that. I would still love that, but it's just not realistic, right? And so I am Miss Non-realistic. Fine, that's fine. But after 17 years of being a coach and after so many of my client stories going from that's not realistic to, oh my God, I didn't even know this was possible. I know this is possible. Fast forward to a few years later, and this beautiful woman, once we truly discovered what was it that you wanted to do, who do you want to be right now? Who is it that, who do you admire out there? What jobs do you admire out there? What would you love to do on a daily basis in general? Like, where would you want to live? What do you want your house to look like? Um, well, first off, she called off the wedding, right? She realized, I don't love him. I actually don't love him. And I was just going through the motions, right? And felt that that's what we needed to do. We needed to get married. But I don't really love him. So she called off the wedding. And next thing you know, she met the love of her life, right? Because in order to, call in beautiful things into our life, we need to be able to let go, right? Of the things that no longer serve us. And so as soon as she let go of the man who she did not love, immediately the love of her life came to her. And this man treats her like a queen, loves her so much, fully supports her, very different from her former relationship. Um, and now she lives in this gorgeous, gorgeous home in a beautiful forest. By the way, she loves nature. So to her, it was like a dream. Before she lived like in the city with all the chaos and noise and cars and pollution, and she didn't want that. And now she lives, literally in a forest. And whenever she looks outside the window, she has the view of beautiful mountains and trees. She has a beautiful garden. She has animals. She's growing all her own vegetables and fruits. This was like her dream, her ultimate dream that she didn't even think was a reality, right? Because so many of us get like just comfortable, right? And we're like, well, I guess this is a life for me. I guess it means, working at this place that I don't really like, paying bills and dying. It's like, and I guess this relationship, yeah, I guess this is as good as it gets, right? Wrong. Stop thinking that way. That's not what I want for society. This is my passion. This is why this is my life's purpose, is to be out there telling people, no, we forget that we are creators of our own reality. We get to decide. We get to write our own story. And if we don't like the way the story's going, we get to change it, right? And this is why I love to do what I do. And she is living her life's purpose, and she gets to, work on her own, in her own terms, on her own terms, and she gets to um, work when she wants to work and create the perfect uh, magical day every single day, right? That doesn't mean that everything turns out perfect, like in the fairy tales, and then there are no more challenges and you live happily ever after and that's it. No. Of course, there are going to be challenges. Of course. Of course, challenges are going to come up. If I'm going to sit here and say, and then you have the most perfect life forever, and that's it, poof, you're done. I would be lying to you. Of course not. Of course, challenges are going to come up. Of course, issues are going to arise. It's called life, right? And they make us stronger, and we need them. We need them also because we live in a dualistic world, and it's great to see the negative. We appreciate the positive more. So, no, that's not what I'm saying. But for sure, the life that she was leading before, that wasn't her. That wasn't her life. That wasn't what she was meant to do, career wise, environment wise, and relationship wise. And so, this is why I am so passionate about having clients come to me and us discovering together, well, what is it that you would really love out of life? And why can't you have it? Why can some people have it and you can't? How does that make sense? And do you really think that God wants this for you? Wants you to live in lack, wants you to live in a house you don't like, wants you to, work somewhere that you can't, that you don't like. I don't think so. I don't think that's what God wants for you. I think God wants the best for you. And I truly believe that. And so, January 4th, I will be talking about this and so much more in Ojai on a 1 day retreat in beautiful, mystical Ojai. I used to lead these once a month for many, 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 many years. Now I live in Italy, so I can only lead them when I am in California. But this is exactly what we go through. We go through who were you before all the noise? And what is your why? Why would you want to do this now? Because we need that why so it could keep us going in the moments when it's difficult, because it does get difficult sometimes, right? And what is it that you would love to do? What would you love for your day to look like every single day when you wake up in the morning? What would you love to do? Where would you love to live? Who do you want next to you, right? Is the current partner? Is it somebody else? Who do you want to, what kind of life do you want to lead? And I definitely, definitely don't want people to regret anything and be in their 90s going, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? This isn't the life that I wanted to lead. you know it's never too late. So January 4th in Ojai, feel free to reach out. I will put a link here in this video. And so I hope to see you there where we talk about manifesting abundance, creating the magical life that we've always meant to have, right? Not living in lack, not living in sadness, not living a life that we're not fully satisfied and that we don't love and are obsessed with. No, let's stop that. Let's do a little course correction. So come January 4th, and we'll talk about this and so many other wonderful things. All right. Ciao, everybody. I hope to see you there. Ciao.